Okay. Let's get some videos on here, please. Zach, Ryan, nice to meet you.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. That's good. We missing anybody on the virtual team down there? Or you two were the same two as yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys read that okay from your game?
Intro.
No, probably not, huh? You probably can't see that, can you?
I see it says intro.
Oh, you can't see it?
A
How
little
about
bit.
Here, I'll just be able to tell if I pin myself. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Hey man, Ray, can you do me a favor, bro? Yeah. Can you run to my office and in my bottom, like my top drawer, there's like black markers.
Yeah.
Just grab one of them. It could be in the little Office Professionals cup too, right above the drawers. All right, guys. You guys are with Austin, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. Get some notes. Make sure you got pen and paper ready. Have your questions ready, and we'll begin in 30 seconds. Hey, the Indochino guy said this was how it's supposed to be tailored, Mace. I told him the same thing.
You should have told him, I need you to talk to Mason because you got slapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we ready? Make sure if you get that dirty, you dust it off. So no one gets a dirty butt. All right, guys, so for those of you who don't know me, I think you all do, besides maybe you two, Ryan and Zach, come from the same tree that you're getting trained by right now. Miss Austin Oakes was trained and developed by Mr. Giovanni. I'm somebody that was trained and developed by Giovanni as well. Giovanni was my essay when I was just an agent, and he taught me everything soup to nuts. So glad it's only us in here because our script is a little bit different than the rest of the office's script. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. So every time I do one of these, it's kind of tough because I'm always like trying to do two scripts at once. And it's not like I can't do it, but it definitely causes some people to wonder why one might sound a little bit more assumptive than the other. That's really all ours is different for, is more assumptive, more control, and more busy, seriousness, importance, pretty much. So today, what we're going to be going over is getting people on Zoom and establishing control. So getting on Zoom, we're all virtual here, right? For now.
Yep.
Establishing control. We're also going to go over rapport, how to build rapport. Rapport is the most important part of this entire presentation, right next to the closing, if not second most important. And we're going to go over the intro and why we're there. So first thing I want to let you guys know is I'm sorry, but I swear a lot. You might have some swear words in here, so if that happens, just let me know if that's a problem, and just let me, just kind of type it in the chat, like, hey, can you chill out with some of those, because my wife's listening or my daughter's listening or whatever it may be. Are we all okay with a swear word or two in here?
Yeah, no, you're all good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Only a couple, maybe one or two. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is obviously getting them on Zoom. So you guys got to understand that we were an in-home company for the past 70 years. So we're still learning new things about this every day. Within 6 days, the entire company went virtual. And in that same exact month, we broke our monthly record of 7 million ALP, and we did 9. So it's safe to say we're doing pretty well. But I'm going to give you everything that I know about getting control and getting them on Zoom that's worked for us the best. I'll even give you a few extra tips you probably never heard of yet about how to get somebody on Zoom, even before you actually come down to getting them on Zoom that day. I'll show you a tip or two about when you're on the phone call, getting them on Zoom while you're on the phone with them and solidifying that appointment even more, because you got them to see you before you even saw them for the appointment day and time. Got them to see you while you're on the phone. So in person, there's many different ways to establish control. The first thing that it started with was a nice, firm handshake and looking them right in the eyes and saying, nice to meet you. I'm Vince Viseri with American Income. We handle some of your benefits to the carpenters. You shake their hand really hard. You look them in the eyes. That's going to be like, that's like all a man has is like his word. And, you know, they say his balls, right? So those are pretty much two things that can be taken care of by a nice, strong handshake. And these guys, some of them are a lot tougher than others. They're in labor unions. They look at white collar guys like you're soft. Job doesn't mean nothing. They don't see any way that you could possibly grind as hard as they could in a white collar position, but that's going to change when they see you guys, especially if you're all trained by me and Gio. You know, they're going to be like, holy cow, these guys are nuts. They're going to be thanking you when you leave, and they're going to be probably trying to tell you to slow down like I've been told before. Gio will leave a house after 8 p.m. and tell them we got 4 more people to see, and they'll believe it. And we might, but we only might get to 1. But anyway, getting them on, you know, in person, you got the handshake, you got telling them we're going to use your table. We got telling them where to sit at the table because you're right-handed. You want them to sit to the right of you. We got taking our shoes off when we come in, even though they probably are going to tell us don't take them off. We're going to tell them, no problem. My mom will beat my butt if I didn't. You're going to take them off anyway. That's control. Can't tell you nothing. They can't control you. Then you got getting them to get you a glass of water. Been running around all day. I hate to ask. I told you for a glass of water. Can I use your bathroom? Is it back here? Is it back here? Is this where it's at? They'll get up out of their chair. They'll show you where it's at again. A lot of different things you can do for control. On Zoom, we can't do any of that. So here's how we translate that. One of the biggest things on Zoom is control starts over the phone when you're setting the appointment. You have to talk loud. You have to talk proud like I am right now. If I was in here and I was talking to you guys like this for the next 2 hours, you guys would be falling asleep. The average attention span in America is 8 seconds. Please understand that at 8 seconds is like 5 sentences, not even. Probably 3. So you got to change your tone a lot. Your presentation, your words should be a constant up and down voice inflection like roller coaster. Even if you're just talking about something random. Start high for the things that you don't want them to miss. You get low for the things that are more serious, that need some actual personality behind them, some emotion behind them. And then after we are explaining the important things that we want them to understand and really make sure they get down, like closing and like the needs analysis, things that kind of pull on their heart a little bit. When we go back to describing the next subject, we raise our voice again like this. What we're going to do today, guys, I'll probably talk to you all day. You guys are great people. But what we're going to do today, so just some examples, guys. All sit. You should be going up and down. Think back to people that you've watched or you've learned from, or professors, or anyone that you can ever think about that influenced you or spoke to you with conviction and it changed you. those people didn't talk in one monotone voice the entire time. They all have that same trait, which is a loud, proud voice that's going up and down and up and down again. And soft with the close, right? So getting them on Zoom is going to start over the phone. The control on Zoom is going to start over the phone when you're booking the appointment. When you book the appointment, when you want to get about 3 solidifications in there. We were just going over this in the morning. Just want to make sure, Joe, we have you down for any time between 5 and 6 on Sunday. Before I put you in my schedule, do you see any reason why you and Mary wouldn't be there between 5 and 6? Not just, do you see any reason why it wouldn't work for you? No. Do you see any reason why you and Mary wouldn't be there anytime between 5 and 6? Okay, I just wanted to make sure because we are sitting down with 8 to 11 members a day. And we have a lot of people that we got to get seen. I got another 6 carpenters right after you. So you're sure that that's going to work for you? Okay, because once I put you down, if we miss you, that does mean another family member who's been waiting on their benefits couldn't be seen right after you. So I just got to make sure. I'm a man of my word, Joe. When I say I'm going to be there for you, I promise you I'll be there. I just want to have your word. You're sure that that time works for you. You guys may think that's abrasive. You guys may think that's pushy. That emotion that's prompting those thoughts needs to be eliminated, or you're not really going to make it too far here. You got to take emotions out of the deal because you're doing it for the greater good of them. Yeah, that's what you have to kind of swap taking the emotions out with, is understanding that you're taking the emotions out temporarily, not to hurt them, not to be abrasive, but to help them. Because if we don't get this down, we won't ever see them. And Jake from State Farm isn't going to see him either because Jake from State Farm doesn't have our leads. Jake from State Farm doesn't call labor unions all day. He has no possible way to. You're these guys' only hope. Pretend it's your mom. Pretend it's your brother. Pretend it's your sister. Rule number 8 in the agent playbook. For those of you that have been reading the agent playbook, I definitely commend you. If you haven't, I would look into it. Rule number 8 is always book on the first phone call. Always book on the first call. Odds of you getting them on the phone and booking them again after that are going to go down drastically. Anyway, that was 3 solidifications in 1 phone call right there. And when I wrap it up after that, I'll start to smile because a smile can heal all abrasiveness that you may have done before that. A smile, I don't even like my smile. I still grill it. It's the only thing I found that helped me say things that are controlling is a big smile. Let them hear that through the phone. Give them a tone that they would like to talk to. Give them a tone that they look forward to meeting with. Not this tone I'm yelling at all you guys at right now. Okay, Joe, so you won't, okay, great. All right, sounds good. Well, I look forward to putting a face to the phone call and getting you and Mary all caught up with the other members. We'll see you Saturday night. We'll see you Sunday night. Nice and direct, concise, clear. Not just, okay, sounds good. See you then. Sounds good. Look forward to putting a face to the phone call, Mary. We'll see you then. Take care. Getting you guys all caught up with the other members. I don't know what the hell's going on above us right now. I believe they're renovating floors. It sounds like we're in a amusement park. Is there any questions on the phone call? Okay. How about you, Zach? No?
No, I'm good.
The other tip I want to give before we move forward out of this subject is with will kits and child safety kit leads, I'm just going to be upfront with you guys. They're great leads. I don't ever want anyone to discredit a lead, comparing it to another lead. They're all the same. Child safe and wills, it just takes a little bit more presentations to see somebody that is overqualified like the unions are. Big income, big family, big assets. You know, with the union, they're making a union negotiated wage. They got union negotiated health insurance. they're sitting all right, no matter what union they're in. They can afford whatever we're going to show them. If they can't and they're a lower income union, then we show them less. We'll never show them something they need we can't afford. With wills and child safe, they still have just as much insurable interest. Wills are thinking about death. Wills are trying to plan out life after death, their estates, their family, what they're going to be like when they're gone. Life insurance is the #1 part of that. Child safety kits have children that they'd like to protect. They have children that they're worried about that just came into this cruel world we live in. They have a family and they would like to get their child, they think about their children enough to request these kits. I'm just going to let you know, though, the show ratio is going to be a little bit less on those, so you got to bring some extra juice with the child safe and will kits. You might have to build some extra rapport on the phone with them. You might have to relate to them a little bit. They tell you that they're not going to be there tomorrow. They can't do it tomorrow because they're getting their nails done. Okay, that's all. What kind of nails you getting done, right? Start to build a little bit of rapport. Oh, I'm sure that will look pretty. My girlfriend gets her nails done. They're always either black or white. It's pretty boring. I always tell her that they're too boring. She gets mad at me, right? Whatever you got to do, get them laughing, give them some rapport over the phone on some wills and child safes. Especially giving them a little bit more details sometimes. If you feel that the call is going good and you're rolling and they ask you what this is all about, just tell them straight up. 2 parts of the program. First part's the exclusive kit, second part's this. You'll learn that stuff from your managers, your field trainers, but more or less, though, set more on virtual. What used to take 6 to 8 appointments in person now takes 8 to 11 virtually. Wills and child safes, I'll tell you a tip that we've been doing. We used to do more than we do now. I'm starting to try to get it back going over there with my team, but we used to get them on the Zoom while we're on the phone with them. Even with unions, you want to still get the Zoom link sent to them while you're on the phone with them. All right, I got you down. This time and that time, grab me a pen and paper, write this down. After they write these things down, before you solidify, you tell them, okay, last thing I'm going to do is send you an email real quick for the Zoom link. What's a good email to send that out to? Send that Zoom link out and be like, okay, I just sent it. Give it a few minutes. Always be like narrating and leading the conversation so they don't start to interject. It's going to be there in a few minutes. Just check your email. How's your day going today? Okay, great. You got it? Awesome. Make sure they confirm that they got it. If they're a child safe or will, and you're having a hard time getting them to show, right there and then you can say, you got it? Okay, great. Go ahead and click on that link real quick, just to make sure everything's running a lot smoother for Tuesday. You know how technology is, Joe. Oh, yeah, I clicked on it. Are you on a laptop or a phone? I'm on my phone right now. Okay, so it probably brought up the App Store, right? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, download the app real quick. Guys are going to think that's a lot to ask for over the phone. Not if you ask for it the right way. They're just going to do it. Can't be like, could you possibly, could you do me a favor real quick and download the app? Then you're going to get a no. All right, go ahead, download the app real quick. Yeah, it's downloaded. Build some rapport, build some rapport, build some rapport. Yeah, it's downloaded now, Vince. All right, go ahead and click that link on the email one more time. And at that point, guys, it will pop them into the meeting right there and then. You just made the meeting on your phone while you were booking them, which if you aren't good at, you got to start practicing. And then they pop in. There you are in your call room. Have your badge. If you have a badge already, you guys should all get union badges here in the next couple of weeks. If you don't, just look nice and get out of your chair or stay in your chair. Just get a nice angle of yourself. As he pops in, start your video. Hey, you're in. Awesome. It worked. Can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay? Great. Joe, you want to hit start video in the bottom corner. If they're having a hard time hitting start video and start audio, you can right click their screen and it will say ask participant to start video. Ask participant to start audio. It will pop up on their screen. It will say the host would like you to start your video. Go ahead and click yes, Joe. He clicks yes. You're good to go. He pops in. He's 50 something years old. He's looking down. Whoa. Hey, How are you? Nice to meet you. I'm Vince Masseri, handle some of your benefits to the carpenters, or I'm Vince Masseri. I'm one of the directors of the free will kit program. Nice to the phone call. Okay. Establishing control when they get on Zoom. This might be regurgitated for you two. Were you in that this morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Right? Can you see me okay? Right? First two things that should come out of your mouth. The psychology behind this, guys, if you don't have really much conviction to do the things we're telling you, or you have internal objections to do the things we're telling you, understand the psychology behind it, and that's going to help you do those things with conviction, and that's going to eliminate internal objections. The psychology behind what we're doing when they get on Zoom is they have no idea who you are. They're wondering, who is this person? Why am I on Zoom with them right now? For a child safety kit or a will kit, right? Or a union. You're wondering the same thing. You got to flip the script. You got to flip the camera. No, who are you, Joe? You know who I am. I'm the boss right now. I'm from your union. I'm representing your whole livelihood. Don't sell yourself short, guys. Don't get nervous. It's easy to get nervous, like we're hiding something. We're not hiding anything. It's a valuable benefits program. A lot of it has no cost to them and a lot of your time spent. You don't find that anywhere else. You don't. Now, when they get on Zoom, you say, can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay, real quick, go ahead and grab, before I say another word, go ahead and grab that quality control confirmation code I gave you. That way I know we're not talking to any imposters. They'll get up out of their chair wherever they're sitting and they'll go grab it. That's control. Happens every time. Oh, hold on. They go running around their whole house. If they can't find it, it's been 5 minutes, let them go. All right, Joe. You're Mary, you're Joe? All right, I believe you. You sure? Okay. Don't worry about the confirmation code. That's if it's taking too long. Because your time is money and your money is time. The person who's doing more activity is going to be the most successful, straight up. Now, after they get the confirmation code, if they're sitting anywhere else but a table, you have to tell them, all right, great. You're Mary, you're Joe, got the code. Guys, go ahead real quick, get to a table, grab a pen and paper. We're going to be going over a lot of important information. I want to make sure you don't miss anything. They'll get right out and they'll go. The only way they won't go is if you put words in between from there to there. Like you don't say anything else. You don't talk about the weather or anything or this, that, and the other. They're gonna be asking you what this is all about. You got to go right from the confirmation code right to telling them go get a table and a pen and a paper. The more words you put in between those two times, those two statements, the harder it's going to be for them to actually get up. They're going to be like, nah, we're going to sit here. Because now they know who you are. You've already talked a little bit. They can see you're a nice person. Before, all you said was two things, and then go grab your code, and then go get up and get to the table. They're not going to really think that they should not listen to you at all at this point. If you don't, guys, I promise you, you might think I'm being rough or crazy right now, but this is key. This is key stuff. I wish I was taught. I had to figure all this out myself when we came out here in March. People try to do presentations from their couch, TV's on. Can you lower that down a little bit? Could you turn that off for me? I can't hear anything with the TV. Thanks, Joe. So get that down and don't vary from it whatsoever. And you're going to have a lot better control, and control is going to get you the sale. Besides that, that's pretty much all you can do to establish control over Zoom. Does anybody have any questions on those things or wants me to repeat any of that?
So when you're saying to get them on the Zoom, like while you're on the phone, And then whenever you went to them getting the quality control number, that was like at the time of the meeting, or you're doing that all at the same time?
That was the time of the meeting. Great question.
Got you. Got you.
That was the time of the
Because I'm
meeting.
like, dang, he's like, hold on, we about to go right into the meeting on the phone.
You can do that too. I've seen people do that before. It's 7 o'clock, you got no appointments left. Tell you what, just hop on now, write some, right? But no, you definitely, you only really want to spend time getting them on the Zoom when you're calling them. Like I said, for a will or a child safe, unions, you don't typically need to do that for, but if you do it for every one of your appointments, you're going to increase your show ratio. There's no doubt about it. Calendly increases show ratio by 15 to 20%. If you guys don't have Calendly or your managers aren't using Calendly, then speak with Gio about it and ask him if you can start using it, or he can send you a PowerPoint on Calendly that our company made. If your managers are using it, take notes on how they're doing it and what's involved, because it's very crucial.
And how exactly are they using Calendly to? Because I've used Calendly before. They're using it to book the appointments, or?
Yeah, it's a great question. So Calendly, not only does it keep a nice schedule for you, but it notifies the client multiple times with reminders, and it gets multiple confirmations out of them as well. And if you booked a lot of appointments during the day like you should, they can actually reschedule through Calendly without even speaking to you. Kind of blessing and a curse, because then they can cancel at any time on you, but also you'll have more people that would have just canceled anyway actually have the chance to reschedule because Calendly's telling them to. You're going to increase the people that you see, because without Calendly, they just would have canceled. With Calendly, they want to cancel, but they also got a chance to reschedule. So you're going to be retaining more appointments.
So when would you send somebody the Calendly link to book the appointment off rip, or you know what I mean? Like, would you be like, oh, I'm going to send you this link. It's to my my calendar, and you can book an appointment, or?
Yeah. So with Calendly, when I was, promoted and everything, I wasn't really doing too many virtual sales. I was more in the field. So I don't know exactly what I would say, but I know that there's a link inside of the Calendly that like inside of the event on Calendly, your Zoom link for your meetings is there. So I think you would just, whatever way Calendly normally sends appointments, you would just send them the Calendly link, and it should have everything in that email, I believe, that you would need, that the client would need.
Okay, I definitely would want to get that PowerPoint or whatever it was, so I could learn more about it for sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Here's my number. Shoot me a text and remind me.
So when you're on like,
All right, I'm ready for it. Oh, you got it.
when you're on like a phone call with them, right? And you're like, okay, like, can I get your email quick? I'm gonna send you the Zoom link. So would you be sending them like a Calendly link instead of a Zoom link? And then the Calendly link will also have the Zoom in it, because they'll book that appointment, and then they'll be able to access that as well. Or like how?
So
The Calendly link does have the
yeah,
Zoom link.
would it be kind of like how whenever you book like an overview, you kind of would just have them open it up and then kind of walk them through it a little bit or something maybe?
No, I don't think I don't think it's that difficult at all. I think that they just get the email, and on that email, I think they confirmed through Calendly, like it will automate this stuff for you. Like it will say, like, please confirm your appointment with Vince Passeri. They confirm, boom, it sends it to your Calendly. It puts it on your schedule through Calendly for you. There's even ways when the appointment's over where you can set up Calendly to automatically send them a Google review link, and they'll be able to leave you a nice Google review so you can have a solid customer base on Google saying how great Vince was.
Cool. I definitely love automation. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll have to touch base back. Maybe at the very end, I'll run out and grab one of my guys or girls that's a lot more proficient than I am in the Calendly field, and I'll have them step in for a second just for you guys to get some of those gray areas figured out. So now we're going to talk about rapport. Is there any other questions though before we move on?
Nope.
Okay. So guys, with rapport, I want you guys to just understand one thing about rapport. If you pictured the presentation as this upside down pyramid, right? You want to spend, I don't even want to say too much, but you want to spend, I'm a little bit more talkative than others. I can relate to some people a lot, more when I have that carpenter background, but, with control and rapport, you want to spend almost 60% of your effort and focus right here. Then you got, the actual benefits, the need, and the close. The close, you barely should have to spend any of your focus on, any of your energy on. You have probably about another 20% on the need, and then another 10% of these benefits. So what I'm getting at is you want to put all your focus and all your time, not all your time, but like you want to put most effort towards perfecting control and rapport. The better you're going to do right here, the easier this close is going to be. You're going to barely have to say a few words. You're loud, you're in control, you're building a relationship. First they buy you, then they buy the company, and then they buy the product. I want you guys to remember that. First they buy you, then they buy the company, then they buy the product. So buying you is the biggest sale. Control and rapport is the best way that they can buy you. I'm all up and down and loud and proud and this and that and serious and in control and busy, so that when it comes down to the close, I can talk to them like I'm talking to someone in my family. And they'll perceive my words a whole lot differently because they bought me first. I don't need to be all, what are you going to do if your family, but this is going to be you're one, blah, 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 all that murky closing that people try to do, the hard closing, things of that nature. You don't need any of that. If you have good control and rapport and you did a semi-good needs analysis, the presentation is going to sell itself. They may say, I want to think about it. What they're really asking you is, hey, Manny, show me why I shouldn't think about this. Show me why I should just do this now. Just give me that extra tough love. Just tell me one reason why. It's just like when you guys had to buy something that you didn't really want to buy before because it was like a big decision. You've been wanting to do it for a while and it might be a little bit expensive. What do we start to do? Oh man, can you go down that price at all? And this is only today. So you're telling me I have to get this Cadillac today. But I just want to think about it though. I want to look around at other cars. The dude, the professional closer, yeah, like your letter said, this is your enrollment period. Yeah, you would have to make that decision today. Yeah, they figured it'd be a no-brainer. What is it that you want to think about? Help me understand what you want to think about. Well, there's only 3 times people really think about it, Joe, and I understand where you're at, right? And all right, let's just do option B. Same with you when you ever had to buy something like that. Guy gives you a few things to kind of calm your anxious mind, your worried thoughts, and boom, you do it. So don't get all crazy in the close when someone hits you with an objection. Calm yourself down and just begin to talk to them, because just because they gave you that objection doesn't mean that sale is anywhere near over. Excuse me. But the better you do with this, though, the better you do in control rapport, the easier and less you're going to have to try with the rest of it. And if you flip this over and this bottom level was control and rapport and you took it out of here, what's the rest of the pyramid going to do? Collapse. Same thing with our presentation. You don't do good rapport, you don't have good control, I don't even move on. I'm like scared. I'm like, oh man, this ain't gonna be good. I keep going. Try to crack them throughout the no cost benefits. If it's a tough guy, tough woman, you can get out of rapport if you've tried all the 5 questions, but you better keep trying to get them to open up about something during the no cost, something. Deer head on the wall. How crazy the healthcare is in America, how ridiculous this is. Yeah, it is ridiculous. He might talk about Trump. You might have to like Trump for a minute. He might talk about Biden. You might have to like Biden for a minute. Just like someone at a bar, guys. Just like a friend that you're gaining at a bar. Rapport, though. Do you guys know the 5 rapport building questions? You guys know your script. You should. Everyone in this room should know these.
I have, like nice home. How long have you lived here?
There you
I
go.
have that one. Ask about family. You could actually pre-qualify them by asking them about their parents and their health.
Yep.
And I can ask them about work and also what they do for fun.
Perfect. Spot on. Parents' health, pre-qualifying. What's an example? I can pre-qualify somebody by knowing what their parents' health is.
If they have any like diabetes or like heart attacks and all that stuff.
Yeah, ask them if anything like that runs in the family type stuff.
Exactly. Diabetes. Oh man, how's he doing? Is he doing good? His heart okay? He had a heart attack. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. My dad had a heart attack too when he was 53. It was scary as hell. Sympathize before you go asking these crazy personal questions so you don't look weird. Like that's why we do that control stuff over Zoom. Like people just want to, hey, you're Joe, you're Mary. Okay, great. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. This is a nice home. How long have you lived here? Oh, hey, you got family in the area? Are your parents around? How's their health? Why is this guy fucking, what is this? Why is this guy asking me all this stuff about my family and where I live and I don't even know who he is? Right? But yes, pre-qualify, he had a heart attack. How you doing with that? That's not affecting you, is it? Does that run in the family? It does. Oh man, sorry to hear that, Joe. You look great, man. When did you have your heart attack?
Never had one. Not yet.
Oh, I thought you said you had one. Oh,
That's my
okay.
dad.
I'm kidding. All right. Number 2, family in the area. Why do you think we're asking about family in the area?
Referrals.
Referrals.
Referrals. Let's go.
Referrals, baby. Nice home. How long have you lived there? That's going to tell you how responsible and financially stable they are. Oh, we've lived here for a little bit. Oh, it's just a rental. Oh, okay. So you guys have never mustered up the financial stability to throw down $15K on a house? Okay, I'm going to change a little bit of my script now. I'm going to kind of talk to you like I would talk to someone that's more of a temporary thinker, you know, but we're in Chicago, so I don't judge. I mean, so many places out here are very, very expensive. I don't blame someone for renting, but just know that that's going to kind of show you what kind of person they are. If they just got their home and they just joined the union, you know they've been getting hit with stuff like this since they bought that home and since they joined that union. Get a home, get a career, get a 401k, get financially stable, have a kid, waste money in your 401k, get life insurance, responsible homeowner, mommy and daddy things. Work. Like I said, someone that just joined the union, that script is going to be a layup if you execute it correctly. A layup. Ours is very assumptive, just like your work, anywhere else you worked. They come in, they put you in a room, they say, here's your benefits that are available through work. You got a couple days to think about it. We're coming back on Friday. Okay, you're gonna go for this, you're doing this, all right, sign here. No one questions shit. We're all over here acting like we're hiding something. It was a 3-step process, Joe. First step was when our PR team went out to your union president and he signed off on these benefits for you guys. Second step of the process is when we sent out the letter of explanations with the card that also let you know from your president that we'd be coming by to deliver these benefits and discuss additional ones as well. Third step is when we're out here for 2 hours and we just put all this into perspective. It's the same thing. This is your work benefits. We're here to enroll you into your permanent life insurance benefits today. A lot easier with someone who's been in the union for a few years. They're always a layup. People that have been in the union for 30 years, you might need to change up a little bit. Ask them how the last guy, has anyone ever, any of my guys or girls ever come out here before? Find out what they went over. Get them to grab the old folder. Discount card, brand new as of April. Used to be not even that great. I still sold it like it was amazing. It was amazing, actually, but it just got upgraded to hell and back. If they haven't been seen in a year, I'm going to bring that discount card out, and they're going to be like, oh, maybe he's not here just to do what the last guy did, try to sell me more insurance. He's going over this discount card. I never even heard of this before. That's very valuable. Wow. He's telling me he's a quality control manager. He's telling me he cares. He's telling me this. He's telling me that. He's building a relationship with me. Our script, our presentation is so far from other people's. I promise you, no one in this build, no one in this town's ever seen it before. None of these leads. Unless they've actually been seen by someone on our team. But they still haven't seen you yet. So someone that's been in for a while, know your facts about unions. Talk about his union dues. Talk about how, maybe add in that the discount card's only for people that have been in for 20 years like he has. Yeah, this discount card, brand new, no cost benefit. People that have been in for 10 years plus like you get this. Yeah, your dues have already paid for this.
Well, what if like some of those questions come up when you get the referrals and they've talked about these things with those people? Because like say like they're like, oh, my brother can take advantage, of the discount card, but then they're like, oh, my brother's not been in the union for 10 plus years, so will he still get it? Or like when you go to meet them.
Yeah, that's exactly, you're exactly right, man, Reed. And that's the best part of
information. Or is that like?
No, because that you sponsoring them trumps what you said before.
Okay.
That's the whole point of the sponsorship, man, Reed.
Yeah.
Right? You spin that. Yeah, no, you're right. You do have to be in the union for 10 plus years to get it, but that's the coolest thing about this program. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Just this year, they've been allowing members like yourself to sponsor only 5 people who aren't in the union to get the discount card. Oh, well, that's, wow. I had to be in for 10 years and they can just get it. They're going to be sponsoring more people than ever before. Good question, though. Work, fun. Why do we ask what they do for fun?
Rapport, relatability.
Relatability.
To not make it so serious and be so salesy as well, to make it seem like you're their homie.
If they have any like dangerous hobbies.
Dangerous hobbies, these are good. Main thing is where they spend their money. Where they spend the dough. When they talk about how they go to the casino every week, or they talk about how all they do is ride their 4-wheelers, or they talk about this new motorcycle they just bought, not only can you guys have a new thing to relate about and be able to bond with them more on, but now you have ammo. You got ammunition for the close. You got ammunition when it needs analysis. They start to say, I can't afford it. If it's really I can't afford it, which most of the times that's just a cover up for they don't trust you, or they want to think about it, or they think they can think about it. But if it is I can't afford it, you get real soft. Like I said, get good at closing. None of you guys are going to be good at closing just yet, besides maybe one of you guys in here who's already been in insurance a little bit. But you get real soft. Tell them, I know, I understand, Joe. It's not like they're asking you to stop smoking cigarettes and, paying hundreds of dollars a month on those. It's not like they're asking you to, sell the motorcycle or stop paying the motorcycle bill. They're just asking you to take $20 a week out of those areas to put in here so we can protect the family. You guys will learn closing a little bit later. I'm just saying you can use these things in the close.
The big thing is to break it down week by week instead of month by month.
Mm-hmm.
Because that seems cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Week by week, breaking it down week by week. I know it may seem hard to come up with $2 a day right now while you're here together as a team. But if it's hard to come up with $2 a day right now, then how the hell
Are you living life?
how is Mary Joe, when you die, gonna come up with 30,000 all at once without her best friend in the world here to help her do it? Any questions on rapport building? Questions?
I've heard a couple different ways, different perspectives on it. Would you recommend going through rapport until they were like, oh, what's this all about? Or you kind of drive the ship? Like when do you decide to move on into the no cost or why we're here?
It's a great question. So I can't tell you that it's going to be a direct answer that's going to be a cure-all, end-all, but I can tell you for now, while you're new, and until you get 100 presentations in and kind of understand the psychology behind sales, you're going to just want to make it simple and just tell yourself this, that you won't move on until they've laughed, smiled, and started building the conversation back to you. Yeah, it's been here for about 10 years there. Where are you from? Where are you from, Vince? Oh, okay, yeah, we the other day we were down there in Pittsburgh before, and in Pittsburgh I couldn't even find my way, blah, 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 blah. Like when they start replying back to you and asking you questions now, and you can't shut them up, that's a good sign that you've built enough trust. Because when you first got in there, the guy wasn't saying a peep.
Yeah.
And that's even better because they start going and going and going, and you'll be able to just throw him questions that are super easy for him to keep going about. Super, like this question's going to make him feel really, really proud to be a hunter. I'll throw this question at him. This question's going to make him feel really proud to be a carpenter. I'll throw this question at him. People love talking about themselves. They haven't seen anybody in 8 months.
It's like that blue piece of candy from Family Guy.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like I know it's not like, oh, they start the stopwatch and after 15 minutes you get into it. It is a feel, go with the flow kind of thing. I get that.
Yeah. And sometimes there can be too much rapport that's pointless. You don't want just mindless rapport. You want the rapport to be strategic. Like you want some mindless rapport in there to kind of get them to open up to your strategic rapport, but like you don't want it just to be all random ass questions the whole time,
Yeah.
And you don't want to be sitting there with your hands in your lap either. You want to be touching something, typing something, looking at something, looking back at them, throwing in there in the middle of the rapport. Don't think I'm being rude on my computer or nothing. Everything's digital these days. I'm just punching in your information. But what were you saying about hunting though? If you tell them how busy you are on the phone, how busy you are when you get in there, and then you go sit there with your hands in your lap and you start asking random questions, they're going to be like, this dude's phony.
Gotcha.
And then they're going to tell you, what's this all about? Can we just get on with this? I'll be like, yeah, no, Joe, trust, I'm going as fast as I can for you, Joe. I just need to punch in your birthday. Is this your correct birthday? Yeah, that's correct. So you're born in the 60s, huh? Boy, I wish I could go back. I'd trade ages with you right now to live in the 60s, Joe. That was an America that we'll never get to see again. Yeah, you got that right. Boom, I just turned some guy that wanted to get started back into talking about the 60s again. But if they hit you again, come on, we got to get this started. I got to go somewhere. Okay, Yeah, I understand, Joe. I understand where you're at, you know, busy day. I get it. What do you got going on? And if they tell you they got to go somewhere within under 2 hours, I probably wouldn't even start that. Because you know what's going to happen is you're going to get right to the point where they're about to choose something. And they're going to think, oh, man, I do want this, but I got to. You know what, Vince, we just can't. I got to go. We just can't do this today. I told you I got to get to my brother's house. They're going to start freaking out a little bit.
So then would you
Reschedule them.
reschedule in the middle of their appointment?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, you guys had to go.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you had to go anywhere. Did you tell me that over the phone? Oh, it's definitely. I didn't know you had to go somewhere, guys. Well, that's an hour and a half from now. This will be done before then, won't it? I know it definitely will, and I definitely trust me. The quicker, the better for me. I'm running around with 8 to 11 families a day, but it's just sometimes there's a lot of questions. We're going to be going over a lot of important information, and as much as I'd like to think that it's just going to be an hour and a half, it might not be, and I don't want to do you a disservice and have to cut us all short here in an hour and a half. That's the main point. I don't want to do you a disservice. They'll understand that. And then lead that conversation. So what we're going to do is we're going to just have to reschedule. It's no big deal. We'll see you tomorrow at this time. It still works for you?
What if they come back with like, oh, no, we're fine, we'll stick around, and then it comes back to that same problem, you know? Like,
Well, most of the times if they don't really have to go somewhere, or like it's not a time urgent, like a doctor's appointment or something, like
Yeah,
if it's just they told their cousin they'd be over today,
yeah,
they'll tell you right there. They'll be like, oh, no, we don't have to go at 2. Oh, you guys don't have to leave right at 1:30. You just got to be there closer to 2. Oh, okay. And then you're good. Because if that's the case and they're all bought in and like they're shitting their pants looking at this needs analysis, wondering why they have nothing to take care of it, they'll stay for another hour if they have to, and they'll make their mom or their cousin wait.
Yeah, and it makes it feel more important too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're like bullshitting like that, saying like, oh, I gotta go, you know, somewhere to my brother's at 1:30, you're like, okay, let me reschedule because this information is super important. You need to get this, and you need to be told all of it.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, no. I mean, like, I can stay like an extra 30 minutes or an hour. Like, I understand why this is important. That's like, it's like kind of like getting in their head, just like another tie down, basically.
Yep, exactly. Spot on. Did you guys hear that?
It was in and out.
Say that again.
It was in and out.
No, I heard you, buddy. I was telling him to say that again.
Right.
Hey, can you guys hear me? I'll just come over here.
Guess it doesn't turn.
Hey, yeah, so what I was saying to him is just that if they're kind of like bullshitting you about that and saying, oh, like maybe I have to go to my brother's house at 1:30 or I have to go to my cousin's or whatever, right? Then when you tell them like, hey, yeah, we're going to reschedule you because this information is super, super important. We need to make sure that you understand fully all of it and, you know, kind of word it that way. And then if they do have something like Ben said, like a doctor's appointment or something they can't move, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand this is important. Let's reschedule. So they still have it in the back of their head that this information is so important that you need to have this allotted time to learn about this information, right? But if they realize they're in their head, they're kind of thinking like, oh, they're like, why is he going to reschedule this if I'm saying that he doesn't have enough time? The reason why is because that information is important. And then it kind of makes them like think about it in their head, like, oh, the rest of this conversation is going to be super important. I need to pay attention to it. I need to be more like in tune with everything that he's saying. And it's just basically like another, does it make sense? Anything like that. It's like another tie down in their head of like, I need to be a part of this conversation.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Things like that throughout the whole presentation are really what separated me from like rookie producer in my first 90 days to like getting no rebuttal closes for the next 90 days. I remember my 6th month, I finally started getting rebuttals again during the close, and I was like, I forgot the closes. Like I haven't heard one in so long. Like that's what I got good at, was just sounding and acting exactly like my field trainer, using my hands, building things of importance with, you know, quotes like that throughout the presentation. they'll bait you to respond with things like that all over the presentation. How long have you been in the area for? You work with all the unions? Holy cow, that's crazy. Yeah, we've been in a hotel. We got this, that, the other. I mean, anytime you can fit in a little level-handed statement about like how serious and urgent and important these are, or how many other members you've been seeing from his union, or whatever it may be, or, yeah, that's exactly why they have us out here, because we've been doing this for 70 years. We are the only unionized life group in America. So we're all in the union too. We're in the office profession. Like, there's so many different things. You start to cumulatively put those all in the presentation. He's right. He's exactly right. That at the end of it, they're not questioning anything. I remember one time a guy gave me hell at the door, gave me hell over the phone. I stuck in there and I was abrasive with him a little bit, rescheduled him like 2 times. When I got to the house, it was real late. The kid was crying. Wife was cooking in the kitchen. I'm like, oh man, she's cooking. This is going to be tough. I said, we're just going to need you to join us here, Mary. If you can. I got all soft. If you can join us, we're going to need you to join us at the table. Oh, no, honey, you're fine. Go ahead and get started. I was like, I was being nice. I'm like, I can't start with that. And she like dropped her pot and was like, honey, get started. And I was like, oh, okay, ma'am. Sounds good, woman. Like, lady, so, and then obviously, like, I let her do her thing. I built trust and rapport with the husband, who was a carpenter, and he just had this whole like, what's this all about thing. And I just did exactly what he's talking about. It's this, it's that, and it includes this. There's some additional ones. They're at a union rate. He's like, union rate? How do you qualify? Right? Like, there's a reason why we say the things we say. Union rate, that's my rate. I deserve that rate. Why would I not be able to qualify? Right? Then I was done with rapport, built it with her while she was cooking. She put something in the stove that needed to stay there for 30 minutes. And I knew if I can get from here to term and hold in the next 30 minutes, she's not going to care about this food anymore. And it's exactly what happened. On top of that, the kid was screaming everywhere. She went up to get the kid at one point, and this husband, I shit you not, she got up, split second, just lifted herself out of the chair, and he grabbed her arm and was like, yeah, go ahead. And she sat back down. I was like, wow, what control and good rapport can do. A rookie producer would have been in there. Yeah, sorry, you almost ready? Oh man, I hate to bother you guys while we're at lunch. Oh, this will just be real quick. It's no big deal. None of that would have occurred. They would have been, all right, great, get out of here. That's why you get people on the phone. You guys are just trying to sell us more insurance. We already saw somebody. Yeah, I know you probably saw someone that had a weak ass pitch and a weak ass level of care in customer service. That's why you don't remember it being valuable. So just understand that this presentation of ours may be long, but it's meant to build a nice, strong relationship as well. That guy bought. I'll show you, and you'll laugh at this picture. I even pulled out the whole $100 credit card referral thing, where each referral he gave me that got involved in the benefits, I'd give him a $100 gift card. Mary, your sister, doesn't she need life insurance? She just had a kid. I don't think she'd like to talk about that right now. I don't give a fuck. Call her. What about your aunt? Call her too. He started going crazy. Coolest guy ever at the end of it. He was flipping homes. I was involved in my first home flip. We got together we got along real well. Took the picture. He went, oh, I went, hey. Cool carpenter, cool guy. Boy, was he tough. Every time I called him, he no-showed me twice. Called him the third time. He finally answered. He's like, yeah. I'm at a party for my kid right now. He's like, I can't talk. I'm like, no, I'm not letting him do this again. He's like, Justin, get off the pool. Get off the pool. Yeah. What's up, Vince? I'm like, oh, jeez. Give me every reason to kind of shy down, back down. If I would have backed down, he would have never got protected that day. He was telling me how he's very cheap. He did all the math. I encouraged him to do the math. Do the math on the paid up option too. Let me help you do the math. Wow, you tell my buddies that I sponsored, when they call and they give you any shit, you tell them even Justin's cheap ass thought it was a good deal, and they'll sit down with you. I was like, all right, Justin, sounds good, buddy. Sounds good. More than just money and sales involved in this game, man. It's a good feeling. You got to have pride in it. When you don't really, not everyone wants to get up every day and go sell insurance. There's got to be some sort of vision, some sort of obsession with helping people at first that gets you there. Motivation's going to run out like a low lit flame. Motivational speeches will light it up. Eventually it's going to bog back down. What's going to keep it on fire? What's going to keep you making these power moves? What's going to keep you making these power phrases, even though they're awkward? What's going to keep you getting uncomfortable? Is this some sort of obsession of a goal, whether it's retiring your mother, your wife, financial freedom, or just the obsession to help somebody because you know before you went to someone like that guy and it helped him out, it changed his life. So I'm going to use all that to get uncomfortable with the next person to get them down. I had to ask Gio everything. I couldn't get uncomfortable and pushy and convicted without, like, I had to ask him everything. Why? Why are we doing that? What if he says this? What if that happens? What is that going to make him think, though? What's the point of us saying that? Gio was really, really good at solidifying all those things for me. And then eventually he'd wrap it up with just saying, don't be a bitch. Don't be soft, he would say. Gio is very good at not swearing. He probably would be having a heart attack over there if he knew I was swearing in this workshop right now. Anyway, guys, the last thing I want to mention about rapport is like the easiest way I can depict like what the idea we need to get behind here. Like, how many of us went to college? So that was well, I didn't. So me and Ryan didn't. Let's go, Ryan. Okay. But you know, this means nothing. I'm just saying. High school too. There's a professor, there's a teacher, whoever that you didn't like, right? We've all had a teacher that we hated, right?
Yep.
That teacher that we hated, how often would they come around and ask you about your day? How often would they make a point to build a personal relationship with you? How often would they smile and joke and make you feel comfortable while they're in the front of the classroom? Come on, Miss Harry, quit standing up. What do you got, hemorrhoids? That's what my teacher used to tell me all the time. My football coach too. He was a science class teacher. I never learned more in any class besides his because there was just something naturally gravitating me towards his lessons. It was him. It was his energy. It was his charisma. It was his conviction and his passion. It was his personal relationship with me that made me open up and listen to his words, unlike I ever listened to any other teachers. Other teachers, all right, class, sit down. This is what we're going to go over today. Why are you late? I don't give a damn about your excuses. Don't be late to my classroom anymore. This is it. That is that. Get out of my class. Oh, God. Hate Mrs. Reverka. This is what we have to try to accomplish in 15 minutes of rapport, okay? We have to try to accomplish what those teachers accomplished with us. Because now the 8,000 word script, those 8,000 words are going to be perceived a lot differently. Like I said, those 8,000 words aren't going to be missed like they would with the monotone teacher that talks just like this. And 5 plus 5 is 10, and 10 plus 10 is 20. Multiply that right here, and this is that. And that is this, and this, that is that. And they're just talking the same tone the whole class. You're struggling and hanging on for dear life to even pay attention. Because the average attention span in the US is what?
8 seconds.
Woo! 8 seconds. Any questions on rapport? Or why it's important and how to master it? Guys that are tough, they're easy too. Guys that are tough, you gotta just be overly like, I don't want to be, prejudiced or judgmental, but you gotta be like gay. Like, If you guys have a gay friend, they're just, yeah, I love it. That's great. This is great. You're great. That's awesome. You're so awesome. That's awesome. This is awesome. All right, dude's sitting there the whole time. You're trying to crack him with rapport building questions, and he's yawning. He's checking his phone. You're getting it with Mary now. She's cracking. He's getting even more pissed because you're flirting with his wife almost. And you kind of, Joe, I don't know what's going on. It's almost like the camera is frozen, but Mary's still moving. But you've just been giving me that same killer look the whole time, Joe. You look like you want to come to the screen and jump out at me. What's going? And he'll go, oh, no, you're fine, buddy. I'm just tired. It's just work. Oh, man, where do you work? What do they got you doing down there at the Carpenters? Concrete? Steel studs? That's why you want to be someone that's educated and knowledgeable about current events, how things work. You know, the more like knowledge you have, the more value you can bring. Like that's the same thing here. I'm tired. No, I just do some stuff with real estate. Oh, okay. Real estate. Oh, okay. How many rentals you got? Oh, that's great. I always wanted to get into real estate. The residual income is amazing. Oh, yeah, because you got all those rentals and they keep paying. Oh, man. How are your tenants doing? Are they destroying? I'm sure you had some crazy stories about your worst tenant that just destroyed the whole room, huh? Oh, yeah. Back in 2008, this one guy actually spray painted the whole wall. Whatever. He'll tell you something, right? You just fish. Get it out of him. Get it out of him. Charisma. Smile at him. Oh, no way. Holy cow. I can't imagine. How the hell did you two even meet each other way back when? She chased me. That is not true. He chased me. I'll have you know right now, Vince. Yeah. Don't worry, Vince. She chased me. Okay. Just leave it at that. Okay. I'll tell you what, Joe. I can see why you guys are so well together. You remind me of me and my girlfriend. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, so you both chased each other. We'll leave it at that. I know my parents, right? Every time they give you something about them, make them feel comfortable, give them something about you. Family, occupation, recreation, me. That's a good way to remember it if you start running out of ammo. Family, occupation, recreation, me. Form. Doesn't always have to be the 5 rapport building questions, guys. All right, now we're officially done with that category. Before we stay here all night. How am I doing? What time is it?
It's like 2:11.
2:11. Good. Get us out of here early. 20 more minutes. Time is money, money is time. Intro and why we're there, guys. Who was presented in this room so far? Who happened to present yesterday?
I did all the way up until like I did all the way through the will kit.
Up to term and whole. You did the first 50%.
Yeah.
Good job. That's amazing. Nice. Good stuff, man. You're ahead. Keep that going. Keep presenting the first 50. Tell Austin, hey, give me the first 100. I'll do it all. Throw yourself in there. More times you fall on your face and get uncomfortable in front of you.
That's what I was telling her the same thing. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get better until I fail. So just throw me in.
Told Gio the same thing. I just got out of getting beat down and built up for 4 years in the Carpenters Union. I was like, God, I got to start over again. I'm like, Gio, I know what's coming, man. I wish we could just skip this part. He's like, don't worry, Vince. We'll get through it. I would be, he started me when I didn't know the script. It was disastrous. Every day I was praying to the God above, please don't let me have to present today. Please let this person show us. Please Gio just takes this one for no reason because Gio could not stand not writing anything. He'd be like, yeah, I'll do the POS. You can do this one. And he would just 2K, 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 3K, 2K, 3K. I learned more by just listening to him over and over again than I did by presenting. When I was on my own, I was like hearing his voice in my head at certain points. And I would just repeat it exactly like him, which I used to think was like really, honestly, like cheesy and like a little bit gay. I'm like, these labor union guys, can't tell me that this is gonna work. I'm like, this dude is bubbly, right? But it worked, and it worked good every time with the toughest of the tough. I thought I knew a lot. I thought I was gonna change up a lot. I thought I was gonna have better sauce. Ended up going right back down to what he told me to do originally, and that was the most successful I was. Intro and why we're there, guys. So this is probably the second most important part of this whole presentation. You've done well so far. You got their trust. All right, guys, I can probably talk to you all day, okay? But we do have another 8 members right after you, so I'll go ahead and get started, okay? You do remember filling out this 3x5 yellow card, right? You'll show them this card. You'll share your screen. Let me share my screen. Narrate yourself a little bit so you can buy time while it's loading. I'm going to share my screen with you real quick. Let me know when you can see it. Boom, there it is. And they're like this. Yeah, I remember that. That's your handwriting. I told you you filled it out, Mary. Jesus. You know, now you know you're comfortable with you because they're beating each other up now in front of you. And if you have a trainee, you two beating each other up is even funnier for them. I tell men read all the time. I had a guy named Dalton on my team. He's still on my team. Like I'm talking past tense. Dalton is a Browns fan, Cleveland Browns fan. He had a Cleveland Browns backpack everywhere we went. I roasted him in every single house, and they loved it. I'm like, oh man, it could be worse, Joe. You could be a Browns fan like Dalton is right here. And they're like, oh, he's a Browns fan? Oh my God. I mean, Steelers and the Bears, that's one thing, but the Browns, how do you live with yourself? And I'd be sitting there just laughing. Dalton would be like, oh man, he would turn red. He'd be like, yeah, I don't even know. He wouldn't even say anything. He would just be like, he'd be choked up. Every sit I'd roast him about his Browns backpack. Show them the card, jogs their memory, shows them legitimacy. They see the handwriting, they see the stamp. Okay, great. Do you remember, you know when that was filled out? How long ago was that? Get some more ammo. If they say a few years ago, now you can use that as your ammo. In the close, throughout the presentation. Probably didn't get this. This is brand new. It's been 2 years. Want to think about it? Well, 2 years from now, we're going to come back out here. Your health, your age, the price, so on and so forth. Oh, it was about 6 months ago. 6 months? That's really quick. We have members out here telling us, Joe, that it's been taking 2 years, even 4 years. Oh, no, we just filled that thing out 6 months ago. Okay, no one's ever been by from American Income to deliver your benefits package here? No. Okay. Oh, we're glad I caught you guys today because this is actually one of our last few days in the area. More ammo, right? Share my screen. I'll pull up one of these letters. Have you guys seen these pre-approach letters before?
Seen them through my union.
Here, we'll pull one up right here. If you guys want to pop over here, you can. Actually, we should be able to share it to that screen. So we'll just do that real quick. Let's see if it works.
Seahawks would be in a situation just like the Texans, where they
The
would
Seahawks.
be forced to move on from Russ by Russell saying, I am done. You need to trade.
Guess we can't. Either way, it's probably because the Wi-Fi was reset last week. So you remember getting this letter of explanation signed off on by your president there? Oh, no. No? Okay. Don't feel bad. Most people, haven't seen it either. It's signed off by our president, Thomas Belanoff. You know Thomas, right? I don't know him, but I've heard of him. Yeah, he's a great guy. You're acting like you know him. You don't even know him either. But what's that doing, right? That's building the importance. It's building that professionalism from you. It just says right here, Joe, I'll walk them through it a little bit. And I don't know where my highlighter thing is in here, but there's always like a highlighter button in here. And I'm not sure where it has went. But more or less, guys, if you got a highlighter, you'll kind of start just using it like a teacher. You'll start highlighting the words as you go. You'll start paraphrasing. You'll start paraphrasing the stuff. Oh, here we go. It just says, dear member, as a member or retiree in good standing with the SEIU Local 1, you have a no-cost $4,000 insurance policy. I'll try the word accidental death. This benefit and others listed below are provided jointly through American Income and the SEIU Local 1. And we're a 100% union label company serving working families just like yours. So keep them where you want them with this highlighter. AIL currently has over 330,000 SEIU members covered under these policies at no cost. Since 1990, Joe, you can start to get faster with your words now. You can start to get that less serious tone so they don't just sit there and like burn out on your serious voice, right? We paid out over $32 million in life, health, and no-cost benefits. Please return a card enclosed. For the first time ever, you'll receive no-cost benefits in the AIL Plus card. That's that discount card, Joe, I told you about. You can also receive child safety kits. So it just goes over the no-cost benefits a little bit there, Joe. And it says fraternally, Thomas Bellenoff. If I didn't ask him if he knows Thomas, I'll ask him right here. And then he's the one that signed off on these benefits. At the very bottom, it just lets you know an AIL representative who is a member of the Office Professionals Union, the local 277. That's us, Joe, as I show him my badge and I hold it there till it focuses. And I bought a nice camera because I'm a professional and I'm in the Office Professionals Union and he sees that. We'll call on you to deliver your certificate of coverage, witness your beneficiary designation, and register you for the AIL Plus card and your other no-cost benefits. It also says, Joe, that the union sets you up with additional permanent life insurance benefits presented in the B union by union spirit. And I'll scroll away from it. So, you know, in efforts for him not to start reading the rest where it's like strictly voluntary, you know, all that comfortability that we don't want the client to really think that they can have, you know, we're talking about enrollment periods. We don't really want them to see something that says strictly on a voluntary basis. If they do, it's no big deal. I'm just giving you a little tip. So that's exactly how I would walk through that. It's exactly how I'd walk through that. Same way every time. And I'll say, right when that's done, I'll say in a B union by union spirit. And you notice how I didn't read it word for word where it says other supplemental insurance. I said the union also sets you up with permanent life insurance as well in a B union by union spirit. I'll say, now, Joe, did you say you made it to any of the local union meetings where they talked about this benefit program with you guys? Okay, no problem. Let me fill you in on what you may have missed. So your union, right, they set you guys up with 4 no-cost benefits, right? One of which, this, follow my voice inflections here, because if you don't get it, they're going to miss it. I have so many trainees and benefits reps that get, I want to think about it, or I didn't know we were going to do this today, because they flew through this in the same tone. Your union sets you up with 4 no-cost benefits, right? One of which is that insurance policy that would go to Manreet. God forbid something were to happen to you, Ivan. Now, Ivan, if something, or not Manreet, if something did happen to Ivan, you wouldn't be calling up the union wondering where all that money is. You'd be calling up our company, American Income Life, because we're responsible for paying that out. We're the only, reason being is because we're the only 100% unionized life insurance company in America. So that's why your union sets you up with additional, that's a big part. That's why we don't tie that together a lot, I see. That's why your union sets you up with additional insurance benefits as well that you'd have to qualify for, additional permanent insurance benefits as well that you have to qualify for. Those are at a union negotiated rate. Now I'm talking like I don't care what happens. Those are at a union negotiated rate. I don't even know if you can qualify for those. But we noticed over here, we noticed on your paperwork that you didn't fill out anything for your permanent life insurance. So our job is today, Joe, Ivan, and Manreet, is to get you guys enrolled into your permanent insurance benefits. Only problem is everybody we sit down with, they always try to qualify. It's just not everybody can. So if they make sense, or not if they make sense, that's a little bit, we're trying to be more direct. If you can qualify, we got to make sure we get you enrolled today during your enrollment period. If you can't qualify or it doesn't make sense, we simply wouldn't worry about those additional benefits today, and we would just worry about your no-cost benefits that have already been set up for you. Does that sound fair enough? Any questions on what we're going to do today? See how many times I went from this, that, to this, that, to this, that, slow that, enrollment period, hands, all that, crucial. And if they look at me, when I say, does that make sense? Be smart, look in the screen, read their face, read their expressions. If they're like, or they're looking around all over the place, they're not listening to you. If they're on Zoom, especially if they're on a phone, that's why you always want to get people to use a laptop. If they're on a phone, your volume is coming out of that phone, low quality, your video is low quality. You better be bringing the sauce if they're on the phone. A lot of tie downs. Does that make sense? Can you see this, Joe? Joe's looking around, yawning. Can you see this okay? Oh, yeah, I can see it okay. All right, just want to make sure. Mary, you can see it too? All right, so what the letter says, you can see, so you can see my highlighter? Okay. What it says is, right, tie them back into it if they're looking away. Or just ask them a question. What do you think happens to term after 10 years? Mary's leading the whole conversation the whole time. Goes up, yeah, it goes up. Joe hasn't said a word for 2 hours. Get Joe in there. You're right, Mary, absolutely. Not even tell her she's right, though. Just be like, yeah, okay. How about you, Joe? What do you think? What are we talking about here? Oh, yeah, it goes up. Oh, okay, now I know Joe needs me to repeat this shit because he just missed it. And I'll repeat it because I'm not going to be scared to use 1 more minute to avoid 2 hours of waste. Because that's what's going to happen if they miss a sentence or two, especially after term and whole. After term and whole, there shouldn't be too much talking and gossiping and laughing. It should be all business. You want to stray away from long presentations, as much as you can on Zoom. People need to get to it. Just like how this workshop is starting to make some of you yawn. It's been going on for too long. We're reaching an hour and a half right now. An hour and a half is typically when you're at the needs. That's why you got to have the needs going up, down. You should have options on the table technically by then. It's that sweet spot.
Before the meeting.
No. By an hour and a half, you should have the needs done and the options on the table. That is going to basically be it, guys. The intro is going to consist of the why we're there, and then also the ratings. The ratings, you've been talking to them for all this time. You just did this little why we're there. And if you're doing this stuff dry and you skipped rapport and your why we're there was dry, at this point, they're going to be the most confused person on planet Earth. They're going to be like, oh, this is just a sales pitch. They're going to be thinking, I hope this guy's almost done soon. They're literally not going to be listening to you anymore. I'm telling you guys. Can't speak for every pitch, but I'm telling you the highest odds is what I'm speaking on. You may be able to get away with it if you got a great personality. You might be able to just get some sales based off of, every 3 presentations. You're definitely going to get 1 sale because you got a great personality. But if you're messing up this script, you're going to be missing the ones you could have had. If you don't have a great personality and you don't got the script down, you're still going to get some layups here and there. But you got to go home at night and ask yourself what you could have did better. You got to wake up in the morning and ask yourself what you're going to go over today before your next sit. Because if you're not studying what you did wrong in the last sit and you just think that something different is going to happen in the next one, you're out of your mind. You got to be, you got to have, like a sense of purpose with this. You have to be like specific. Like you got to like actually be intentional with this. That was the biggest thing I can give you guys as a tip for a new trainee is like being very intentional on what you did wrong and not going into another situation like that again until you've repeated this line to yourself and your manager, and now you have it down like it's your birthday. Now you're never going to get hit with that ever again. And every time you do that, you'll never get hit with that ever again. You'll never get hit with that ever again. And slowly and surely, you'll get to a point where there's nothing that anybody can tell you in this pitch that you're not ready for. That's why it's important to get the presentations out of the way in your first week so that the second week of training, your trainer's just watching you the whole time. You're doing everything. You don't want to be doing that when you're on your own. Trust me. Now, guys, is that fair enough what we're going to do today? Okay, great. Now, guys, there's about 6 or 7 videos that they have me play that tell you about who we are and everything like that. I'm not going to bore you with any of those videos today. If anyone asks, they were great. We watched them all, right? So now they're thinking like, man, I thought he was about to be a scripted salesman. Like his why we're there was a little bit like, I'm wondering why he's talking about additional life insurance. That kind of threw me off a little bit. Now he's going back to being cool, right? I'm not going to play any of those for you guys today. If anyone asks, they were great. We watched them all, right? We watched them all. I do just have to play this one video. It's going to tell you a little bit about who we are and who handles your benefits there through the union. So what you did by kind of getting them to laugh right there is you kind of like recharged their attention span up again, because it was just, you just took them through the why we're there and it kind of went down. They're getting tired again. So what you did with the joke, not going to play those videos. If anyone asked, they were great. Kind of got them a little bit more refreshed. They're ready for another paragraph out of your mouth.
Like increase their impulse in multiple parts towards like.
Dude, just gotta play this one video. It's a minute long. It's gonna tell you about who we are. They're gonna be like, oh, I've been wondering what the hell this is the whole time. Let's see it. You play that Richard Trumka video. That man is the president of the AFL-CIO. That's the American Federation of Labor, Congress of Industrial Organizations. If you don't know that, you should write it down, because someone's gonna ask you, what is that? And you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know. American Federation of Labor, Congress of Industrial Organizations.
American Federal Labor.
American Federation of Labor, Congress of Industrial Organizations. If any of you have not been in the union before or have no family members that have been in the union, you guys got to understand how close this is. This is a brother and sister type thing. Unions are very close-knit. They're very strong. They're very proud. You might meet a jag off every once in a while that wants to talk crap on the union, even though they're paying his whole bills and supporting his livelihood. But you got to understand that you're coming from the union, and so far they think you're from directly out of their benefits hall. I mean, you're not directly out of their benefits hall. You're actually a company that's contracted through his benefits hall, but still, they have a very high standard of you when you walk in the door. You already have control. Only thing you can do to make it worse is say silly things and, unconfident and unknowledgeable, say those things that you don't need to say and kind of get yourself lower and lower on the control scale. You already got a lot of it coming in there. Unions are the reason we have days off. Unions are the reason that we have mandatory minimum, work hours. Unions are the reason that we have double time and time and a half and overtime pay that's mandatory. Unions are the reason we have workplace benefits. Before unions were created, we were getting worked to death. And when you died, they would take you back to your wife's kitchen table and lay you on it. Unions are very serious. If you don't know about unions and how they work, you should educate yourself. Take pride in it yourself. You're now in the Office Professionals Union. You now pay union dues. Your renewals, your lifetime renewals here are a union negotiated benefit in our contract. It's not something you see in other insurance companies.
Yeah, our renewals were never vested.
Your renewals were never vested?
No.
For who? Bankers.
Or State Farm.
Bankers or State Farm renewals were never vested. We have
We
living
didn't
proof.
even get renewals for State Farm.
Wow. You guys hear? He said we didn't even get renewals for State Farm. We have a 10-year vesting. You can retire in 10 years. We're one of the fastest growing unions in America last year. Office Professionals, Local 277, loud and proud. Understand you have union benefits here too. You write 18,000 ALP in any quarter, you're going to qualify for up to $200 to $350 a month in extra commission towards a health insurance plan of your choice. I think they raised it to like $280 or $320 or something like that for individual. If you're a family, they'll give you up to like 4 or 5 for a health insurance plan of your choice. They'll just extra commission once a month dropped in your account.
Is that for good? So So if you hit an 18 once, they give you a check every month for healthcare.
You gotta do that like once a year.
Okay.
But I honestly haven't seen them really like revoke that.
Yeah.
Usually once you do it once, you're,
Yeah.
as long as you're a consistent guy and you're writing, 4,000 a month, like as long as you're going to work, they're gonna keep it on you. They're not gonna, if you don't write 18,000 in 3 months, they're not gonna take it away. Like they'll give you a lot of leeway on that. And when you're a manager, it's pretty impossible to lose it there too. After 5 years, those amounts I just stated go up. They give you even more. After 10 years, they go up again. Same with your life insurance you get after hitting that quarterly production. They give you a $25,000 group term for free. After 5 years, it goes up to 50.
We're in an HMO or PPO?
That would be a PPO. Good question. If you go on the OPIU website, if you check, ask your managers about the certain email that we got, there's 24-hour roadside assistance for our union. There's 1 tow a year for free for our union. There's a lot of cool stuff you get outside of the things I just announced as well. You pay 28 bucks a month in union dues out of your advance report. If you ever see 28 bucks coming out, don't blow the gasket. The ratings, you got to get through these the same way you've been getting through report. The same charisma, or you're going to lose them on the second one, okay? Guys, Richard Chumka video plays, share your screen. Like I said, president of the AFL-CIO saying, I'd like to thank American Income for all that they've done for America and their unions. That is powerful beyond your understanding. Please play that video. Stop it right when he stops. Stop it right when he's done speaking, and be like, all right. Or no, you want to stop it when he pops up. It's in our script. You guys recognize Richard Chumka, head of AFL-CIO. He's thanking us for the 2 biggest concerns that they saw. Every single April, they get together, labor advisory board meeting. They discuss the biggest problems facing Union America today. 1, people are passing out without wills in place. 2, benefits to work are not permanent. When we quit, get fired, retire, what happens? Make them answer. What happens? What happens? Right? Get them to answer. This at this point, the video, they might already be off again. That's going to bring them back. What happens to our workplace benefits? Great. They're right. They go away. Spot on. Give them confidence. Spot on. I was saying spot on so much, my girlfriend was like, shut up. You sound like Gia. I'm like, yeah, babe, great question. Spot on. She's like, are you hearing yourself right now? She's like, you sound just like Gia. Spot on. Great question. That's how much you should be practicing your script. Haley probably knew my script better than me by the time I was done. Okay, great. 2 reasons he's thanking us. After he's done thanking us, guys, I even cut this video short as well. That's an extra sentence that's not in the script that you can slip in there too to give him hope that this is almost over. Play it back, let him talk, let him thank us. Stop it after he's done thanking us, because it's about to just go into some nonsense that you're about to cover anyway. It's going to be like, we are an international company with over 7,000 representatives. When choosing a life insurance, whoa, we don't need all that just yet. Pause it after Richard Chumka's done speaking. All right, guys, rest of the video is pretty cut and dry. EAP is very weird with the videos. When the video's up, the video's up. It's controlling your whole computer. You have to skip out of it to get back to anything else. So skip out of it. All right, guys, rest of the video is pretty cut and dry. And as you're talking, it's going to start another one automatically. So you're like, rest of the video is pretty cut and dry. Here's another one I'm skipping for you guys. All right. And then you're back to unsharing your screen. Boom. Make sure you know, like when they're sharing your screen, they're a little icon. You're just a little icon. When you want them to hear you, you unshare your screen so you become big again. Another quick tip is always understand that they are looking at you. Don't ever get like a complacent look on your face, like, oh, these videos. The rest of the video, dang, they're just gonna be like, what a chump. At first, that's gonna happen to you guys. Don't feel bad. You're gonna do that in your sits. You are, because EAP's just weird. But you should be getting homework assignments every night on EAP. So you can kind of get used to this share, unshare type deal, and then just always understand they're looking at you. When something bad's happening, just 1 second, guys. You're thinking in your mind, holy shit, this thing won't go away. You're texting your manager, Gio, 1 second, guys. You know how technology is. Give me a sec.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, what is happening? You know, you're buying. It's like that SpongeBob episode where the fire, they forgot his name,
in his head.
and all the SpongeBobs in his brain are running around. Everything's on fire. We forgot his name, and everything's all chaotic. Anyway, for those of you that are young enough to watch SpongeBob, after the video is done, cut it off, guys. Like I said, the rest of the videos are pretty cut and dry. If anyone asks, they were great. Now, there's only 2 things that have us mentioned about the company before we can get started here. The first thing is, in order to be a part of the program, you have to be in a union. No offense to Joe Schmo down the street. And now this is stuff that's getting them revived again. They're like, wow, you're like, you have to be in a union. No offense to Joe Schmo. They're like, what is he about to say about Joe Schmo, right? No offense to Joe Schmo down the street. I'm serious. I'm smiling down the street. He just can't call up our company and do business with us. Reason being is because about 15% of your union dues actually go towards these no-cost benefits and the additional ones as well. See how I separated and the additional ones? All too often, they go towards your no-cost benefits and the additional ones as well. That's why when you put the 2 numbers together, they're not going to follow you, man. Slow down. Pronunciate your words. Feel your jaw move. That's the biggest thing I wasn't used to. I was never a salesman. I started to have to look like Gio. Actually, you ever see Gio be like, actually, what it is, Joe, his whole jaw is moving. I'm like going home and it's sore. But that's when I was getting it good. That's when stuff was starting to click and sales were starting to happen. That's what someone of influence speaks like. And the additional ones as well. Now, American Income puts another 10% back into the program simply because of the fact that we don't advertise. You've probably never heard of us on the TV or radio, right?
No.
Right? It's like a trick question. With our niche market, it's actually 40,000 different unions and groups. We don't feel the need to be out there chasing business in such a manner. And, you know, the companies that do spend money on advertising, they'll spend almost billions of dollars a year. Where do you think they get that money from, Joe? That's a little extra sauce I don't think's in our script. Where do you think they get that money from? Yeah, your rates. So that's why when you put Drake from State Farm, no, I'm kidding. You imagine how much that cost them? Drake from State Farm? Super Bowl commercial, they had Drake representing State Farm.
You probably got like $500,000 for that.
Oh my goodness. Millions and billions of dollars. That's why when you put the 10% from not advertising and the 15% from the union dues, and you put them together, for your additional benefits, they're actually 25 to 30% cheaper than any other company's rates. You get what's called a union negotiated rate. Does that make sense how they get that? I always hit him with that there because they're thinking, well, why is he selling me on the additional benefits of, you know, la, 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 la. Don't get yourself all like, you know, oh God, I'm mentioning the additional benefit. Like you already told him you're going to be going over it. It's okay. Right. That's why for the additional benefit. Does that make sense? Great. Now, the second thing they have me mention, Joe, it's just our A+ ratings. It's like, now you're like, we're almost done. That's kind of what your tone is like now. The second thing they have me mention is just our A+ ratings. We're actually 1 out of 7 companies in the entire country, right? See how every little start to a rant has like a fact that pulls them in or a serious tone? Those are key to keep them dialed in. 1 out of 7 companies in the entire country to hold an A+ rating through both the Better Business Bureau and AM Best at the same time. I'm sure you've heard of the BBB. That's what I use, again, to throw them off and get them back at the same time. I'm sure you've heard of the BBB, right? They're thinking, yeah, who hasn't? How about AM Best? AM Best is kind of like they're like the J.D. Power and Associates of insurance groups, Joe. They rate every single insurance company on an A through F basis, kind of like a school report card. And they grade us on 3 main things, three main things, because it's not easy to get that A+. First thing they grade us on, as my voice gets louder, is customer service. And I smile, right? because they're smiling, they're looking at me, they're engaged. Customer service. Typically, the past 70 years, we'd be driving all the way out to the house to take care of you guys, whatever it took to deliver your benefits, explain them, answer any questions you may have. Now, during the pandemic, we've been deemed an essential company, essential business. So we're providing these things for the first time ever over the computer here. So for that reason alone, you'll always have a live person here. You'll never have to call up the company, listen to elevator music for an hour, or even get on the phone with someone these days that might be halfway across the world, right? If you ever did call us up though, Joe, we're all in the union. Every single one of us is in the Office Professionals Union, and we're all stationed over there in our headquarters in Waco, Texas. The second reason for the rating is timeliness of payout. Now, I don't know if you knew this or not, Joe, right? Pulling them in. But I sure as heck didn't before I started here. But President Bush, back in 2005, signed a law that said these insurance groups can legally hold our money for up to 6 to 8 months after we die. Give them a second to kind of calculate that. That's where the union saw a problem. Because God forbid you were to pass away, man, Reed, when do you think your family, let alone the funeral home, is going to need the money?
Right away.
Right away, not 6 months, right? Exactly. So the union has a guaranteed 3 to 5 day payout. It's one of the fastest in the industry for you. Even on your no cost insurance too, and the additional. I'll add that in there to be more specific. So they don't think you're just selling them on additional. Does that make sense? I'll give a break by saying, does that make sense? Third reason for the rating, last reason for the rating, probably the most important reason, because I'm like, really, it's going on for a while now, right? So I'm giving them hope it's almost over, right? It's just our financial stability. All the union really has mentioned here, guys, is we're one of the most financially stable. Don't be like, American Income is one of the most financially stable companies in existence. Like, that's salesy, right?
Sounds like Trump.
Yeah, right? Sounds like Trump. Like so all I really haven't mentioned here, guys, is, we're one of the most financially stable companies in existence. There's never going to be a time where we're not here to pay out a claim, or make up an excuse like a lot of companies did during 9/11 or Hurricane Katrina. There was a lot of insurance groups back then that were denying to pay out claims when everyone was passing away. And they were saying that that was an act of suicide, act of God, act of terrorism. Whether that stuff was true or not, Joe, it was really just a bunch of BS. The real reason those companies didn't pay out all those claims at once is because they knew they didn't have the financial stability to do so. So American Income, they just take pride in telling our members we were actually one of the only few companies that did pay out every single claim during 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina. So you guys can rest assured we'll always be here for you and the family, no matter when, no matter how. Is there any questions on who we are, why I'm here right now, or how we got contracted through you guys? And you'll know you did that really well when they end that and you end that and they're sitting there like, no, Vince, I think you covered it. No, we don't have any questions. They kind of got a grin on their face. They're like, this is impressive. First they buy you, then they buy the company. They just bought the company, ladies and gentlemen. Now time for the product. This is when I was new. I was like, oh, all right, because I thought that the whole beginning was not good, not quality, not this, that, and the other. You leave one of those things out, it's going to come back to bite you. Like a loaded gun. A lot of moving parts, a lot of mechanics inside of a rifle. You leave one of those springs out, something out of place, it's not going to fire. But this is where you can start to impress them now because they're thinking, holy, whatever this guy's about to show me better be good. Because that was the greatest intro I've ever seen in my entire life. And then you're about to come in with the discount card that's brand new, that's updated, that is very, very valuable. It's a perfect intro. That's why I don't know how tough Gio is about his discount card, but I'm very strict on it. I want my guys to make it sound word for word very good. Because I've checked and rechecked these benefits, and these are the ones you're entitled to and eligible for. No, I'm just kidding. But I've checked and I've done a lot of over explaining on that card. I've done a lot of under explaining, and we've found a middle point that does both And, you know, it's very valuable. They'll be asking you the whole time, and this is free? Yeah, this is one of your no cost benefits. Now they're so far away from the last guy that came to their house. They are so far away from that guy coming right in, doing a half-assed intro, playing a bunch of boring videos, and then going right into term and hole. Like at this point, you got them. Sometimes at the end of the intro, I'll say any questions on who we are, how we got here. I'll be like, now that was better than a bunch of videos, right? Just to get them to realize I did that for you. You know, ask them if the last guy played the videos too. Did they play those last time? Oh, yes. Don't worry. I'm not here to bore you with those. Thank you. Thank God. They're not bad. I mean, honestly, the discount card video is very, very good. Not going to lie. Same with the child safe video. It's very good. If you ever run out of ammo or forgot your script, go ahead and play one of those. Save your ass real quick. So we went over getting on Zoom and establishing control. We went over rapport. We went over the intro and the why we're there. To a T. This is all recorded. If you do that word for word exactly like I just was, eventually you'll be able to put your own personality into it and you'll be unstoppable. That's all I had for you guys today. I'm going to end on some questions. We have time for just maybe 1 or 2 questions.
We go about getting this email, like the video recording emailed, so I could go over it again and just so I could keep referring to it.
I'll go ahead and send it to you after this meeting. It takes a little bit to load and go to the cloud, but I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys, while I'm here? Probably won't see me again. You will see me on Friday. I'll be finishing off your last day of the training class, but we won't have time to go over this kind of stuff. Going once. Going twice. All right. Let's change some lives. Let's change our own lives. Let's be great. Let's grind and let's get it.
Stay hard.
Stay hard.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.